Flashback.
Will you accept the jury's outcome, their verdict, no matter what it is?
Yes.
Second one, will the president pardon or commute his son if he's convicted?
So I've answered this question before. It was asked of me not too long ago, a couple of weeks ago, and I was very clear and I said no.
And have you ruled out a pardon for your son?
Yes.
Okay. Let me go back to the first question of the briefing. I know you said not a lot's changed since yesterday and that it's a personal matter, but from a presidential perspective, is there any possibility that the president would end up pardoning his son?
No.
I said I abide by the jury decision. I will do that, and I will not pardon him.
The president would not pardon or commute the sentence for his son, Hunter. I just want to make sure that that is not going to change over the next 6 months. The president's saying he would not.
It's still a no. It's still a no.
It will always be a no.
It's still a no. It will be a no. It is a no, and I don't have anything else to add. Will he pardon his son? No.
A few moments later.
President Biden has just pardoned his son Hunter on gun and tax charges that he was facing. The president reversed his previous position. He had long said that he would not pardon Hunter, expressing faith in the justice system and the rule of law.
Lying ass.
What's going on, guys? The radical left strikes again because Joe Biden broke his promise. Okay, you saw the intro. And he said he wasn't going to pardon Hunter Biden repeatedly. Karine Jean-Pierre said it. Joe Biden said over and over again, they lie again. How many times are the radical leftists going to lie? How many times do we need to catch them being hypocrites? How many times, guys? How many videos is it going to take? 1,000, 2,000? I'm about at 800. And best believe I'm going to keep going because these people need to be exposed. It's not about Hunter getting let free. It's about the hypocrisy for me. But let's go ahead and take a look at this right up here on the screen. Today, I signed a pardon for my son, Hunter. From the day I took office, I said I would not interfere with the Justice Department's decision. That was a lie. And I kept my word even as I watched my son being selectively and unfairly prosecuted. Without aggravating factors like use in a crime, multiple purchases, or buying a weapon as a straw purchaser, people are almost never brought to trial on felony charges solely for how they filled out a gun form. Yeah, and neither are they often brought charges for stupid clerical errors like Donald Trump was. But I didn't hear you complaining about that. Didn't you say nobody was above the law?
No one is above the law.
Those who were late paying their taxes because of serious addiction but paid them back subsequently with interest and penalties are typically given non-criminal resolution. It is clear that Hunter was treated differently. Well, of course, you're saying that now. I didn't hear you say anything when all this lawfare was going on against Trump. Where the hell were you then? Like, these guys are hypocritical as hell. Maybe he was waiting for, the Democrats love these master strategies, even though nothing worked and Trump still got elected. But maybe he was waiting and hoping, again, that Trump wouldn't get elected. Then it wouldn't matter what the hell he did after the election was over and he would have done the pardon anyway. But now, literally right after the election, he does this pardon. I think the reason is because it's like we said all along. The lawfare against Trump was to prevent him from getting elected. One, they hate him. Two, they didn't want him to get elected. So they just wanted to do both things. They wanted to hurt Donald Trump desperately. And two, they wanted to commit election interference, which I hope Trump goes after them for. And technically speaking, I mean, maybe you got off Hunter, but Joe Biden, if you committed election interference or took any part of this, then you might be taking your son's place in prison. But we got to talk about Joe Walsh here. I'm not going to read this entire statement here. We got to talk about Joe Walsh. This is a never Trumper, complete lunatic, by the way. You'll recognize his face in a moment. This guy is saying that this was a stupid, selfish move by Joe Biden, and it just lends credibility to Donald Trump, saying that these charges were politically motivated from the beginning and that nobody is above the law.
What do you make of all of this? What is likely to be the response on Capitol Hill to this breaking news?
Good to be with you. See, I told you so. They're all like that. So the next time any of us complain about anything Trump does, this pardon is just deflating. For those of us who have been out there for a few years now yelling about what a unique threat Donald Trump is, for Joe Biden to do something like this, Trump, nobody's above the law, we've been screaming. Well, Joe Biden just made clear his son Hunter is above the law. Donald Trump lies every time he opens his mouth, we've been screaming. Joe Biden repeatedly lied about this. The politicization of the justice system, Donald Trump and his people have been screaming. Well, that's exactly what Biden said here.
Joe, is this a politics of purity? I mean, we had Donald Trump pardon Sheriff Joe Arpaio during his term, and there wasn't a lot of hue and cry about that. I mean, this is a father who saw his first wife killed, his daughter killed in a car crash, his 2 young sons survive. One goes on to have real difficulties with addiction. Another dies because of cancer. This is a family that's really troubled. I mean, yes, he said he wasn't going to do this, but did anyone ever believe that that was the case? I mean, I would have put good money on this happening. Like, are many people going to be surprised that a father who is also the president would do this for his son?
I don't know that people will be surprised, because you're right. Joe Biden repeatedly said he wouldn't do this. So he repeatedly lied. But this just furthers the cynicism that people have about politics. And that cynicism strengthens Trump, because Trump can just say, I'm not a unique threat. Everybody does this. If I do something for my kid, my son-in-law, whatever, look, Joe Biden does the same thing. I get it, but this was a selfish move by Biden, which politically only strengthens Trump. It's just deflating.
Hard as it may be to believe, this never Trump lunatic is actually right here. Joe Biden is selfish, and it does lend credibility to Trump's arguments that this whole thing was a farce. They were politically persecuting him, and that the Democrats are hypocrites and nobody should be above the law. How the hell are you going to get a guy on some BS clerical error trying to say he was trying to hide it maliciously in some stupid behind crime that no one has ever been convicted for, not once? But then when Joe Biden, like these gun and tax charges, these are things that plenty of people get convicted on, and make some stupid excuse to say, oh, he was only targeted because he was my son. Sonny Holston tried to make the same argument before on The View. Hypocritical cackling hen, ugly behind Sonny Holston, wouldn't look bad if it wasn't for her ugly attitude. Her attitude makes her disgusting to even look at, and she has a disgusting argument here as well. Take a look.
0.09% of the population is indicted, are indicted on that charge. And so it's basically close to zero. So I actually think that the only reason he was indicted is because his last name is Biden. It is the right thing to do to correct course and correct that wrong and pardon his son. And he should be someone that should be treated a bit differently because of the addiction. And I would support not only, I think, his pardon on the illegal gun application one, but the other one in California as well.
As if one cackling hen wasn't bad enough, how about 2 cackling hens? Because on the screen here, Ana Navarro, okay, Kamala Harris propagandist and loser who contributed towards Kamala Harris' miserable failure in Trump's epic sweep in the 2024 election, is posting something here saying good for Joe Biden with clapping emojis, okay? America elected a convicted felon. That convicted felon pardoned his son-in-law's father and appointed him ambassador in France. If you support that, I don't want to hear jack-ish about Biden pardoning his son. So again, hypocrisy here, because Anna was saying no one's above the law. But again, proving that she's a partisan hack, she supports Hunter Biden getting pardoned on serious charges. I really think that it really should be based upon the seriousness of the charges. In my opinion, gun charges when you're on drugs is pretty bad, and tax evasion is pretty bad. I would be in prison if I evaded taxes. A lot of people have gone to prison, including big shots who've evaded taxes. Some people who did it on accident went to prison. But Hunter Biden gets a pardon for being the president's son, and Ana Navarro is okay with it just because Trump pardon like one person who she doesn't like? And let's not forget about Jessica Tarlov here saying Trump was going to pardon anyone he wants, no matter what. Anyone pretending otherwise isn't credible.
Hunter Biden isn't running for president, and he isn't the president.
It's about
so
Joe
they're not
Biden.
comparable. Well, Joe Biden definitely didn't use the N-word in text messages.
No,
and
he just
throw
gave,
a gun.
he just gave a eulogy at Graham Klegel's funeral.
So Jessica Tarlov, another propagandist, I'm sure you guys are familiar with this lunatic, is over here making excuses. Isn't it funny how they did immediate damage control? These guys are partisan hacks, guys. This is why I keep making these videos. I'm going to keep going. Best believe I'm going to expose these radical leftists every single day, 365 days, sickness and health. I'm going to be here. Okay, like these people need to be exposed because it's not about Hunter. I don't care if Hunter is hurt. I don't care if he goes to prison or not. That's not what it's about. It's about the hypocrisy for me. If Donald Trump's son was a freaking drug addict and had gun charges and tax evasion, do you think these people would show mercy and grace and forgiveness? Absolutely not. These people are evil. They would relish in his drug addiction. They would get joy from the conviction. When Donald Trump was convicted, they were happy as can be. They were the happiest people I'd ever seen. I'd never seen people that happy in my life. So they get joy from Donald Trump and his family's pain. And now all of a sudden they're trying to act like they're holier than thou. Still, these people swear they're the good guys. I'm here to expose them as the bad guys. They are the villains. They are the people who will stab you in the back. They're the people who pretend to be holier than thou, but have their own skeletons in their closet who are going to look after their people and their family. And meanwhile, they'll send yours straight to hell. They don't care about the American people, as you clearly saw. They're still confused about the election and why people voted for Trump. Clearly, they don't care about what people think. They care about what they think and what they want. And that's why they're bad people and need to be exposed. I better not hear nothing about no J6ers, people that didn't have guns. Some people weren't violent. Most of them weren't. And still in prison. I better not hear nothing when these people get out of prison because these radical leftists made themselves look stupid. I agree with Joe Walsh. These people made themselves look so dumb and so hypocritical and so stupid and so foolish. That's why the party lost this election. And that's why nobody trusts to live. That's why they need a reform. And that's why they're probably going to get their ass kicked again in 2028 like they did in 2024. But those are just my thoughts, guys. Let me know what you guys think. Drop a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel for new. I appreciate you watching the Black Anomaly Rising channel. I'm out.
This guy has been lying from the moment he came on the political scene. He has a lack of empathy. He is egocentric. He's got a condescending smirk whenever anybody asks him a question from the press. He's lying and he's narcissistic. And you know what? He's not trying to make it feel like he's part of their misery. He's a narcissist and an egomaniac who's trying to make it about himself. The bottom line is he systematically lies. He says he was Greek, he was Jewish, he was raised in a Puerto Rican community, and that to Charlemagne the God, you ain't black if you don't vote for me. He's just a narcissist who does not belong on the world stage.